Hello, and thank you for coming back. This time we are going to focus on the old-fashioned ice cream. So here we're going to need 3 colors of polymer clay. You use ecru from Primo. We're going to use Sculpey 3. It is the white color. And then this color I have here is Burnt Umber from Primo. And first we're going to start with the sticks. So the little ice cream sticks go first. Now you can do this 2 different ways. If you have a pasta roller, roll it flat on the 4th thickest setting. So 4th from the thickest. If you don't have a pasta roller, you can roll it real flat with any, it could be the back of a pen where it's smooth. Until you get it nice and thin. So there you go. You saw how I did that. So from here, what we do is take really thin slices like this. So I take a thin slice and I actually bake this. Since it's nice and thin, you actually probably only need to bake it 12 minutes tops. I've already baked some. So here we are. And the reason I bake them is so they don't bend when I put them in our little ice creams. But to make the ice cream stick, I just cut off little slices, and these will become your ice cream sticks that go in your ice creams. So there it is. So it's nice and hard already, and I would err on cutting it on the long side, and then it can be cut down afterwards proportionally to the ice cream. Okay, so now we're going to do the actual ice cream itself. And this can be, you could make it bigger or smaller depending on what size nail you want. But I just take a tiny pinch, condition it, which is just squeezing it, softening it. I like to start with a ball, and then from here I smash it down to start flattening it. And then I will squeeze it in my fingers one way, turn it, squeeze it in my fingers the other way, turn it, squeeze it in my fingers on the edges. This starts creating a square. And I like doing it this way because the square keeps soft edges rather than hard edges. If you shape it with a blade, it will be more square, but the ice cream will have hard corners rather than soft corners. And I find ice cream has nice soft rounded corners. So it's basically a square now with rounded edges. And it's pretty flat because you don't want it to stand up off of your nail a huge amount. So there is our ice cream. But now we're going to take a little bite out of it. I have a little heart-shaped cutter. It's tiny, and I just take a bite out of one of the corners. If you don't have a round a cutter, notice the shape is almost like a 90-degree angle there. So what you can do is use your clay blade and take a cut out of one side and then a cut out of the other side. So here we go. Our little ice cream has a bite out of it. To make the inside, I take some of that white clay. I go in circles with a safety pin, teasing out some clay. And then I put it in the center of the ice cream. Oops, sorry guys. Didn't grab quite enough. That's better. Here we go. So let me see if I can, I'm trying to keep this in frame and still see it from outside of the camera. It's a little bit warm here right now. Usually it doesn't stick quite so much. Trying to get that clay to the very top there. So it will stick on. There we go. It's sticking a little better now. And I tap the white into the area in the center to make it look like white ice cream that's in the center. So it's like a chocolate dipped vanilla ice cream. That's what we're getting the look of here. Like one of those old-fashioned ones. I used to go up and they'd dip the square of ice cream into the chocolate and then roll it in sprinkles or nuts. But this one is just chocolate. I'm adding a little bit more. And then I tap it down. So there we go, we have ice cream. Now we're going to add a drip coming down the side of the ice cream. What I'm using for this is TLS and white powdered food coloring. So I take the white powdered food coloring and mix it up with the TLS. Mix, 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 mix. I like the powdered food coloring because it mixes much quicker than pastel dust. So from here, and by the way, this isn't how, like when I do a large ice cream like this, I don't add the white in after. I actually wrap chocolate around. I wrap the chocolate clay around the vanilla ice cream clay, but because this is so tiny, I just don't do it that way. So I take a safety pin and dip it in, and then I create a little dot and bring it from that edge. So there we have ice cream dripping down. And I'm going to add the stick now, so you can see how I do that. So I go in the very, very bottom, I stick a safety pin in and wiggle it back and forth to create a little line. And then I actually dip the safety pin in a tiny bit of TLS, and I place the TLS in that little bitty hole, and then I grab one of those finished popsicle sticks and stick it in the hole. So I'm sticking the popsicle stick in the hole, and here we are ready to bake our little chocolatey ice cream. And actually the gels, when they go over, they do cover a lot of the texture. Hold on a sec. I'm going to show you one more thing. If you want to make sure it will hug your nail a little better, I just cook it on a glass pebble. So I'd be cooking it on a glass pebble like this. And I mean, if you wanted, you could even stick the stick in first before putting the ice cream dribble on, and then add the ice cream dribble once you get here. Once it cooks, you can trim the bottom off to the size that you want. If you cook it on a glass pebble, it will cook with a natural curve to it and it will help it fit on your nail better. So that's it. So there is our little old-fashioned ice cream with a little bit of vanilla ice cream dripping down the side. It would be really cute with little nuts as well. But when you put that gel over, it looks really smooth and it would cover up the look of the fingerprints there. But if you don't like the fingerprints, you could use the pad of your finger and rub slightly, and you'd want to do that before adding in your stick and painting on your icing. So those little fingerprints, those would be covered by the gel. So, hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. They could easily be scaled up or down. As you saw, it's a little tiny square, so you can easily make it bigger or smaller depending on what finger you want it on. Thank you so much for watching.